Pastor Roy Gerhardt from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. We're coming up on Memorial Day weekend, and Memorial Day began as Decoration Day. It is a holiday to honor those who have fallen in the service of our country. And so people will go out and decorate those graves and honor those who have fallen. It's also a time when many people will go out to place flowers on the graves of family members who have gone on before them to remember them and pay their respects. It's interesting to me that when we come to the end of the book of Deuteronomy, we come to the final chapter of Moses' life. When God took Moses out to Mount Nebo and gave him a chance to look into the promised land. Moses had never been there and he would never get there. But God gave him this chance just before he died to look out into the land that God promised to carry his people into. Now, when Moses died, we're just told in a general way where he was buried. There's not a specific site, not even one of those sets of directions that says out beside the big oak tree. And there's no monument set up. There were times when God would tell the people, I want you to remember this event that happened, so erect a stone or put up a pile of rocks. But none of that. Moses' grave is not identified. It's not a place to go and put flowers. Moses is left in his grave with kind of a mystery. And I believe that that's on purpose because there's no desire, no good to be found in going out and honoring Moses. I mean, heavens, these were a people who kept the snake that Moses had made, that he raised up on the pole to save them from snake bite, and they turned it into an idol. Years later, King Hezekiah had to destroy it because they were burning incense to it and had given it a name. If they had gone to Moses' grave on pilgrimage year after year to honor Moses, why, they would have truly dishonored his life. Because Moses' life was not about leading God's people in his own right and for his own purpose. His whole life was given to leading the people to follow the Lord. And so honoring Moses is only really carried out when his story inspires and leads us to follow the Lord in our own lives. In the New Testament, things are no different, really. The Apostle Paul had to write to the church at Corinth to correct them in some of the ways in which they were attaching themselves to different leaders. They were becoming divided up into factions where one group said, well, we follow Paul because he's the one who first preached the gospel to us. He's the one who planted this church. And other people said, well, no, Peter's the real head of the church, so we follow Peter. And then there was another group that had become enamored with a teacher that was very gifted that followed the Apostle Paul and helped them to grow. And they said, well, we follow Apollos. And some people said, well, we're purists and we just follow Jesus. And there was just this snotty dividedness that was happening amongst them because they had attached themselves to different teachers. The Apostle Paul said, you're missing the point here. It's not about us. He said, one plants the seed, another waters it, but God makes it grow. The Apostle Paul said, I laid a foundation that anyone can build on. But he said they have to build on that foundation because that foundation is the gospel of salvation through Jesus. And so that he wanted them to see this big picture of the way that God is presenting the good news to us through different people, and the way in which they are most honored is when we follow the Lord because of them. The Apostle John wrote in 1 John, in the first chapter, that he was presenting the gospel of Jesus to them to make his own joy complete. He wanted them to be able to share in a fellowship that they had with Jesus and with the Father by believing in Jesus and putting their life in his hands. He said, in effect, there is nothing in the world that would make me happier than to know that I helped you to get to know Jesus. Many times at funerals, we have a time of remembrance and people tell stories, and sometimes we have some great laughs remembering fun times and really joyous moments in life. But some of the best moments are when someone shares how they were inspired and led to the Lord and how it changed their life as they met Jesus because of that person. That's the greatest legacy that we can leave behind. And the best monument to our life are the lives that are changed because we led them to Jesus. May God bless you today. And as you share this good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.